where it's like the title card doesn't come up until like 30 minutes into the movie, and everyone just fucking like comes themselves over it.
Sure.
Like, okay.
Hey, the longer you delay, the bigger the cum, right?
Yeah.
I think it starts absorbing back into your bones and stuff at a certain point, so you got to be careful with that.
And is that true of all edging or just specifically this title card edging?
No, it's all, dude.
Damn, I gotta call some people.
Well, not all, because in this movie there's a Kappa edging in a hyperbaric chamber that explodes into a puddle of jizz and then turns into an aurora borealis.
That is actually true. I remember that happening in the movie.
I hope to get there one day.
I hope that for you, buddy.
Thank you. Lord knows I practice enough. I think a weakness is that the Kappa doesn't show up for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's
Every
kind
time
of
the Kappa is not on screen, people should be asking, where is the Kappa?
Yeah, it's kind of a grandpa-grandson story for a big chunk of the beginning there.
Yeah. I wanted to pop a Kappa into the guy that wrote and directed this.
Okay, watch out.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that this was something else.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Are we ready? It feels like we're also eager to get to Kappa. That
yeah, we don't want to waste all this good jizz and Kappa talk.
We could do more fun puns, like you guys eat like Andy Kappa hot fries and stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah, when I was doing dishes, I mean, Chris already kind of got it, but I was thinking Kappa to bust a Kappa in your ass.
Yeah. It's a good one.
That's where he goes at the end for reinforcements.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, it feels like there should be more, but surprisingly hard. Listeners, write in with your play on words for Kappa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You could easily slot him into like a goes back to school, like Kappa, Delta, Sigma.
Oh, so true.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Ghoulies go to college of the Kappa universe.
It's Kappa, Kappa, Kappa.
V, Lambda, Lambda, Lambda. We get the Revenge of the Nerds crossover.
That's what everybody's been clamoring for.
Mm-hmm. Get those pervy nerds back up there on the silver screen.
That's right.
But hello and welcome to Dead Formats, a movie podcast that's fucking around in caves looking for cinematic treasures. I'm your host, Chris, and this episode we're going to be discussing Kappa from 1994. And this week we are joined by two very special guests, a couple of dudes with scrotum sacks on their chins. Mm-hmm. George, Kron, how are you doing this evening?
Doing pretty well, although my scrotum sack is recent. Chris told me I had to get this surgically attached before I was allowed back on the show. I understand why now, but it's still new and tender.
Mm-hmm. I went with the extra large because I kind of think of myself as a guardian Kappa to the show. So
like the alpha.
Yeah.
I actually agree with this. I do view you as the guardian Kappa as well.
And I don't even know if the movie establishes it, but I thought bigger neck sack, more authority.
Well, everyone knows the guardian is kept in the balls.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the woman Kappa's it could have been the illness, but hers was a little shriveled. So I got to say, it's like a sexual dimorphism. Like that's how we attracted our mates, our engorged chin scrotal sacks.
That's right.
But George is the former host of the best little horror house in Philly. He was most recently featured on this show to discuss the Hellstrom Chronicle, the best movie featured on this show in season 2. And Kron is 1/3 of the recently defunct 5 Day Rentals podcast, and he was most recently featured on this show to discuss Lone Tiger, the worst movie featured on this show in season 2.
You think so?
Yeah, honestly, Kilroy Was Here. Kevin Smith's NFT movie is better than Lone Tiger.
Hey, they at least had the balls to release Lone Tiger straight to video, I would imagine.
Only because NFTs didn't exist back then.
Thank God. Thank God. Yeah, happy to be back. Happy to hear that Hellstrom Chronicles was the best. I agree. It was a lot of fun. I also appreciate that I get to come out and talk with the retired heads. It used to be me and Brantley. Brantley is always saying that Horror Drafts is sort of on an extended break. And now that Kron is newly retired as well.
I think the last time he was on this show, he did just say, like, no, we're never going to do it again. I mean, he's made 2 movies since their last episode, so
you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm happy to be in this new upper echelon of, you know, only doing features, talk to my agent.
Yeah. We're offer only.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? What can you do?
No, this is how we like it. This is where we're riding our this is well-deserved rest.
I mean,
we did our time. We did our nickel.
I think the last time that I was on the Best Little Horror House in Philly, I did say I was doing a different podcast back then, one that was 1 season and done. Once I realized the amount of work that was involved in it, but I do think I said the best amount of podcasting to do is the minimum amount to be invited as a guest on other people's podcasts.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So you guys are firmly within your guest podcast host era, and I love that for you.
I mean, all the free time, it allowed me to start Kappa 5 times and finish it twice, so.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, the film this week is, I mean, kind of mainstream. You know, it had a theatrical release in Japan, but it only has 98 logs on Letterboxd. And I would contend that maybe in terms of genre, this movie is a dead format because it's kind of a weird children's fantasy adventure movie, which I don't think we get many of them these days. I mean, I don't have a kid, so I just wouldn't be watching them if they did exist, but at the very least, we don't get live action ones with practical effects.
That really feels like one of the big differentiators to me. Like the live action piece of it, the fact that they're like, all right, get together some practical effects. We're going to light some shit on fire. Like this is all going to the service of a family movie, and family is maybe even a little generous because this is probably pretty firmly a kid's movie.
And very firmly not in other ways.
That's true. It's extremely violent. It is extremely violent. But yeah, it does feel a little like an artifact of a bygone era in that way, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of stuff was pretty prominent back in the day, the 90s specifically. That's what I mean when I say back in the day, because that's how old I am. But I mean, while you guys were watching this, were you kind of reminded of any similar types of films that you enjoyed as a kid from that time?
There's that movie Extraterrestrial that is an E.T. ripoff and has the now poorly named Trumpy, at the time a wonderful, delightful name for a little alien creature.
But is that one you grew up with?
It's not one I grew up with, but it's one that
That would be an insane childhood.
Yeah, that's true. Sadly, my parents were not fond of old Trumpy even back then. but yeah, it's I do like that movie quite a bit, and it has the same kind of thing where you get so enamored with the creature that you're like, I just want this guy on screen. I don't care about the 50 other plot lines in these movies. Just have the adventures of these fucking kid and alien.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough. I feel like I'm old enough where like my childhood viewing was just what are the 12 VHS tapes that exist in my house. So I'm drawing a blank on like, is there anything similar to Kappa that I regularly ingested?
Yeah, I mean,
and also neither of us have ever heard of E.T., by the way.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely that. I feel like that is set apart though, just because like the Spielberg of it all. Like this definitely references that, but yeah, maybe I was just like the weird kid that was, because I have always been into like monsters and like puppets and shit. So maybe I was watching a bunch of this and assumed that was a normal thing for kids to do, but really it was just like an early hyper fixation for me. I mean, I think of things like Harry and the Hendersons or a gnome named Norm. Or like, I watched Mac and Me a lot as a child.
Wow.
Mac and Me, I find repellent. I really, like, I watched it once and I had like a visceral reaction to it. I almost had like a nosebleed, it felt like I had sort of done the coke by proxy that the writers had done in order to produce that script. Harry and the Hendersons.
And by done coke, you mean drank delicious Coca-Cola at their local McDonald's.
Of course, that's exactly what I mean. And Harry and the Hendersons, I have seen. It was a little before my time in terms of like, wasn't necessarily like in the conversation quite as much, but definitely familiar with it. Of course, the iconic scene where they're throwing the fucking rocks at him. That's that movie, right?
No!
Yeah.
Leave! Yeah. I mean, Kron, you're a big Lithgow head. Have you not seen Harry and the Hendersons?
It wasn't one of the 12 VHS tapes that I had at my house. So,
and you still only watch those 12 movies. So
yeah, well,
luckily Kappa is one of the 12.
So, sometimes I feel like I've aged out of Harry and the Hendersons probably being relevant to me.
Okay.
It's
Lost
suitable
child,
for
suppose.
children of all ages.
Yeah, right?
I don't know. I mean, maybe somebody at the park will throw a rock at me and then I'll seek it out to, connect.
I will say, and I can't say this about Harry and the Hendersons for sure, and I definitely don't think it about Kappa. Well, there are elements, like we said, of Kappa where this is true. But one thing that I do feel about this feeling a little like an artifact, or some of this genre being a little of a bygone era, is that idea of like the 4-quadrant film, right? Like that it was made to appeal to everybody as opposed to just being like a kid's movie that was built to entertain, really to distract kids when you pop them in front of the TV. Because once it was, I assume, this is how I interpret it, once it became a home video market and it became like that kind of use, that some of that desire to be like, oh, this needs to also appeal to the adults in the room vanished because the adults were no longer in the room. They were just there to entertain the children, to babysit them.
Yeah.
So, I think that this feels like it's falling like right into the heyday of it as it's starting to fade out a little bit, right? This is 1994, so it's definitely like on the tail end of it necessarily needing to be a 4-quadranter. To use classic industry parlance.
I'm trying to think of what are the quadrants that this one hits.
Kids who love little monsters, little critters. I feel like the parents, both sides are going to be like, oh, it's nice that it's about like a dad and his kid and like trying to find what it means to move on with the dead mom and like, and then the teens will be like, hey, look, cool practical effects and a ton of violence and gore effects and stuff and fire.
So kids, teens, dads, and dead moms. Yeah. Those are your 4 quadrants.
They love it. Those dead moms can't get enough of this movie.
That's right.
I feel like this does. I mean, speaking of this being a dead format, I feel like it is a bygone thing of like, we are okay with having a little adult content in a mostly kids movie. That's definitely something that you don't really see anymore.
Yeah.
They might throw a reference in that only the adults will get in the audience, but very rarely do you get violence or swearing,
No, we just don't. Yeah, or not even just like violence, but like maybe just having like actual stakes, I feel like is a bridge too far for children's movies these days. Like one of the things that when you were saying that, it reminded me of is like Jim Henson would always say, like, I don't think it's good for children to just always feel safe and happy, which is why when you go back and watch things like that he made, like Dark Crystal or Storyteller, it's like it is made for children, but watching it with 2026 eyes, you're like, this is like actually kind of dark compared to I don't know, like whatever Pixar movie is in theaters this week.
Hoppers.
Yeah.
And I agree. And that is part of why they're so impactful, right? It's not just a question of, is it good for them? But it's a question of like, does this sear into your memory? Abso-fucking-lutely. Like, you think about how many people have Labyrinth imprinted upon their psyche. And it's because of that air of danger, right? It's because it feels like, oh, what if my parents left me home and this happened to me? Like, it's just within the realm of fantastical possibility.
Yeah. I mean, one of my like childhood movies that I watched a lot that is kind of similar to this is called Batteries Not Included. Have either of you seen that?
It rings a bell, but I can't place it immediately.
So,
maybe if you start describing it.
It's about little alien robots, and that's the part for the kids. But what the main plot of the movie is that there's a bunch of people living in an apartment building in New York that like some developer wants to tear down. So he hires people to like fuck them up and like fuck with the building so that they'll leave, which is like it's extremely, and like there's, you know, Jessica Tandy is like a woman with like Alzheimer's in it as the main character. It's crazy for a kid's movie.
I know that I was really concerned with tenants' rights as a child. So this sounds like the perfect movie for me.
So that's a prequel to Death Wish 3?
Basically, yeah.
They call Bronson in to
it really is like kind of the same plot, but with robots that have hijinks. And then like I feel like
you don't know Bronson's not a robot.
So these are like alien robots that can reproduce, and in it there's like a stillborn alien robot baby.
Whoa.
I've also said Bronson is sort of an alien robot who can reproduce.
Mm-hmm. It would explain how he's so proficient in killing, even well into his 70s.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, kids' films, they were fucked up back then.
So true.
And so this past weekend, the reason I chose this film this past weekend was Kappa Day.
Wow.
Which is August 8th.
Whoa.
It's a local holiday celebrated in Tanushimaru, Fukuoka Prefecture, and it's a festival in which residents gather at the Kappa Daimyojin Shrine to hold traditional rituals and a variety of lively river activities. So,
just like in the movie.
Exactly. Were either of you familiar with what a Kappa is before watching this movie?
I actually was, partially because there are Pokemon based on Kappas.
Indeed, there are.
That's where I get all of my knowledge from.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't familiar, but I did a quick Google search and put two and two together.
Yeah. So they are one of, if not my favorite mythological beings. I have a Kappa tattooed on my kneecap, a knee Kappa, if you will.
Mm-hmm. And I will.
Does it look like the one from this movie?
No, it looks like an actual Kappa, but
all right. Well,
if I could go back in time.
To be fair, this is my basis for what a Kappa is now. So if I see whatever version's on your knee, I'm going to be like, I don't know if that's a real Kappa, dude.
You wouldn't even recognize it.
This is the problem, right? Is that they're established to not be Kappas at the end of the day.
True.
Yeah, I guess that's true. All right, so now I have no idea what a Kappa looks like.
Get on the wiki. There's some particular drawings from feudal Japan that you may enjoy of Kappas because they're a type of yokai in Japan. Basically, monsters or spirits would be the easiest way to translate yokai. But they live in ponds and rivers in Japan, and the main characteristics are that they're often described as like anthropoid turtle-like creatures. If you've ever seen TMNT 3, where they go back in time to Japan, all the Japanese people think they're Kappas.
That's right. I remember that.
They also love cucumbers. They love to sumo wrestle, and they have a dish of water on their head that, when emptied, causes the Kappa to be weakened or sometimes even die. But probably the funniest thing about them is that they are said to lure people into the water so that they can extract the Shirikodama, a mythical ball or jewel in Japanese folklore that is said to house the human soul or life force, which is located inside the anus.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely where mine is. So, I mean, they sound cool as hell. I like cucumbers a lot as well. I famously think that pickles are a waste of a good cucumber. Sorry for the hot take. Yeah. But, in this way, I certainly relate to the Kappa. I also have had a cup of water on my head before. Mm-hmm. So that's another check mark in the cool Kappa book for me. They're pretty rad.
Mm-hmm. And I have a sphere in my anus, so.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody's got one of those.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
Are you when you said Kappas are your favorite, are you including like cryptids in that grouping?
I feel like that is set apart a little bit because when I think of like mythological creatures, I think of something that has like, I don't know, maybe like literary or artistic history, like a cyclops, like that's attested to in fictional works. So I would put it more like that, but like,
I also feel like there's an element of, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
But an element of like the way that gods and goddesses were treated in that they are explaining something, like a force of nature, that there is something that they are a stand-in for, some unknown thing. Whereas Bigfoot is just like, hey, whoa, I definitely saw a crazy swamp ape in the woods over there.
Yeah. Because we don't follow the same Bible, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
That's fair.
Like you were saying, where it's like they explain something, like much in the same way where, some people these days are like, oh, well, there's actually this disease called porphyria, and that kind of explains the myth of vampires. Like the reason that people sort of conjecture that people thought there were river spirits that took a ball out of your anus was because they're like, okay, well, when people drown, like your anus distends. So maybe to people, and like, it's, that's where the fish go first, really, is the exposed soft tissue. So
sure,
people are like, well, maybe
they see a turtle snapping at it,
Yeah. Maybe to people in feudal Japan, they're like, well, my friend just drowned and like his asshole is eaten. So there must be a little spirit in there doing it.
Curse you, Kappa!
Yeah.
I think that is a fun element of mythological beings, and I think that yokai in general are a lot of fun. Of course, there is a long history of yokai movies coming out of Japan. They're a hoot, more entertaining than a typical ghost movie for me personally. Even when the spirit is essentially just a ghost, they usually have some, like, they're a little more personality, They have some spice to them usually.
I mean, that's something I was talking to a guy about when I was in Bulgaria a couple years ago, because he was like, I think he had a degree in like mythology or something like that. And I was asking him like, oh, cool, what are like some of the things in your country that you guys talk about? And he's telling me, and he's like, what about you? And I was like, well, not in America, not really anything, because like we killed all of the indigenous people here. And what we brought back from Europe is just ghosts, basically like nondescript ghosts, which is not very fun.
And it's also exacerbated by our horrific treatment of the people on the soil here first, right? Is that we're like all haunted by the trauma of what and by we, I mean white settler and the descendants. That horrific treatment lives on in the guilt, and they tell stories to sort of explain like, oh, I can't sleep at night because it's not because I am a horrible, horrible person. It's because there's a ghost, actually. There's an element of like, I don't know, it's kind of fun to be like, yeah, there's a damn river spirit. Fuck it. Why not? Like, to me, that's more fun than just like a ghost, where it's like, oh yeah, my grandma died and she's fucking sad, didn't finish everything she wanted to do, so she hung around. The idea of being like, nature has these guardians or these spirits that are doing the process, whether you believe in them or not, but you can sort of like beg their favor. Why not? Why the fuck not? That's fun.
It's the specificity of it that makes it fun, because it's like, there's a river spirit. He likes sumo wrestling. He likes cucumbers. He pulls shit out of your ass. Dish of water on the head. And then there's just like so many yokai, like, oh, this one's a possessed umbrella. This one's a lady with a really long neck. This one really asks you a riddle while you're taking a shit.
God help you if you get it right, actually.
Wow.
One thing I really like about that specificity that you're talking about as well is how it sort of cascades down, where like, yes, there are river guardians and river spirits, and they might be in every river. And then you're like, and then this is our river and it acts in this way. So we're going to come up with a specific guy that's like this river guardian. And you can even sort of see that in this movie, sorry to bring us back on track a little bit here, but when they are like, oh, this is the cave with this crazy like guardian Kappa that is specific to that cave, and they all know the cave, and there's the statue there and the temple and everything. Like, that level of specificity is also fun because it becomes a very individualized thing. It's very personal, very intimate. And, you know, all religions are seeking that level of intimacy with your deities, right? And that it becomes much more tangible and meaningful and possible, it feels like, to do that with something that is related to a tangible thing like the river that you rely on for your sustenance and daily bread. And I just think that that's also a fun element. Yeah, that like it can be so localized, and that this village has a specific Kappa that they relate to and that they tell a story about. And that might be different from how other villages talk about Kappa. So that's neat, in my opinion.
I mean, I would imagine a lot of it was just based on what the smartest guy in your village thought a Kappa could do, you know? Like, at some point, someone had to establish the specific rules that it follows. So
yeah, like classically Bob Kane was like, and then there was a Kappa who saw his parents get shot in Crime Alley. He was like, I'm gonna become what the criminals fear most, which is a river spirit.
There's lots of bouncing pearls in this movie. It's starting to make sense.
Yeah, that's right. There is sort of a Spider-Man moment, so that's fun. When the dad collapses. It's not even for a mythological creature. It's for the simple dad. When the beam crushes him, or it's like a tree that crushes him, and he looks like Spider-Man trying to lift it up. And then, unfortunately, unlike Spider-Man,
he fucking dies.
He fucking dies. We jumped ahead a little bit there, but unfortunately, unlike Spider-Man, he fucking dies.
Would have been a cooler movie if Spider-Man just got ripped in half.
Marvel had been braver, dude.
Yeah, man, we're all saying it. We're all fucking saying it.
That would have happened if Jimmy Cameron got to direct it. Yeah, so the Kappa, that's what brings us here today. Happy Kappa Day to the people in this small village in Japan, which I am convinced are listening to this podcast right now.
They're going to be stoked.
Oh, they throw Kappa into the Spotify search every day, dude.
Yeah.
This is the year, they say. This is the year.
So this was directed by Tatsuya Ishii, who his only other film on Letterboxd is the 1996 film, either Acri or ACRI, I'm not sure. Acri, The Legend of Homo Aquarelius, which is about mermaids.
So Homo Aquarelius was my nickname in high school.
Yeah. Seems to be his thing, making movies about this, although he was only allowed to do it twice. So,
yeah, guy's obsessed with the water, dude.
Yeah.
Much like Jimmy Cameron, another similarity.
It was written by Masumi Suetani, who wrote all three films in the Rebirth of Mothra trilogy, which I don't know if you've made it around to those yet, George, but they are also very much the same type of 90s kids fantasy films.
Fun. No, I haven't made it to those. I think I've only seen the first two Mothra movies. I love Mothra, though. Mothra's great. We all salute our Mothy queen.
Your Letterboxd logs say otherwise.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, I mean,
they say that I don't.
Yeah, you don't love Mothra.
I love Mothra the character more than I love the Mothra movies. I will admit to this at least.
I love Mothra as a concept.
Yeah, that's right. More in idea than in execution often. But the Mothra v Godzilla movies are some of my top rated. So let's at least get that out there for the people as well.
Yes. As far as the cast goes, we have Tatsuya Fuji as Yuta Suzumori. 141 film credits to his name on Letterboxd.
I thought he was pretty good in this movie, to be honest. Like, especially for what they ask of this small child character.
Well, this is the guy that plays adult Yuta.
Oh.
So
then never mind.
Save
Fuck
the flowers.
You, he sucked.
He plays constantly dying pretty well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I also enjoyed his like dramatic reveal, like, that's my son at the very beginning.
Yeah. So I haven't seen him in any other movies, but he is in the Nagisa Oshima films In the Realm of the Senses and Empire of Passion. So those are pretty big ones.
Yeah.
Also appears in Kiyoshi Kurosawa's Bright Future. I don't know. George, I know you were on a Kurosawa
didn't make it
kick.
to that one. Didn't make it to that one. I do love Kurosawa, though.
We also have Masao Imafuku as the grandfather. Pretty sizable filmography again. It includes a role of Tengen Kunito, the Azumi royal family high priest, in 1974's Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I have no idea what the fuck that means.
This guy had good teeth. They're all really like perfectly straight.
Yeah, looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to imagine that is what got him the role in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, not as good as Terror of Mechagodzilla, I'll say.
I would have to look at my list. There's too many Godzilla movies for me to know any sort of ranking apart from like top 5.
That's fair. That is fair. There is a lot of them.
And bottom 5 too.
Wow.
I could just be like, the 3 anime movies. And then,
they do suck.
Yeah.
I actually didn't even watch the third one. I gave up. I was like, these are fucking terrible.
They really are.
And 98 is as bad as they say.
But still somehow better than those anime films.
That's true. I would probably watch that again before I watched those again.
We also have Ryuji Harada as Isamu Toda. I've seen him in Kibakichi, which is another movie about yokai. And he is also in Takashi Miike's Izo. And
which one? This was the dad?
This was the son.
Oh,
the present day son.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Look, this is why it sucks to have jumping around timelines, all right? Just put us
it's
on one path.
Nolan-esque in its intricacy. Finally, Takanori Janai, Yuta's policeman father. He will best be known from Gakuryu Ishii's film Burst City. And really, that's about it. I mean, I should, now that you shouted out that the little boy is a good actor, I probably should mark him down, but I didn't because he's only ever been in one other movie.
Wow.
Well,
1 and 2 and done.
Was
and
he
you
in
know what? This is why they found him specifically for this role, right? They were like, he is perfect for Kappa child.
Was the other one that Homo Mermaid movie you were describing?
There you go. There you go.
No, it's a movie called Marks, all capital, from 1995. Assistant Police Inspector Ida is assigned to investigate the murder of a former gang member. When a Justice Ministry official is killed days later in a similar manner, he begins to suspect that something bigger is going on, ellipsis.
All right.
Something in the water, no doubt.
Something.
Adding that to my watch list.
Yeah.
Summer vibes.
I don't know. The muddy lake in this movie did not give me summer vibes, to be fair.
I don't know. Like, it's bucolic.
All the bonfires, man. A lot of nice
festivals.
Countryside. Yeah, fuck you, Kron. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Grandparents dying.
That's fair.
I will agree though that I don't know that it gives me like explicit summer vibes, but it does feel pleasant. They're frequently carrying around bats, although they never play baseball. You have to assume it's that they're coming from baseball, and baseball season is, of course, the summer. So,
wow,
the clues are there. The clues are there. And
is
that
baseball
becomes a murder weapon.
The summer, because I'm pretty sure it's. Well, yeah, I guess spring.
The World Series
spring training would start before that.
Yeah.
It's like the bulk of it is the summer, and then you get a little in the spring and a little in the fall.
Because that's just how good it is, baby. You need a little extra on both sides.
And, I live in a place where our baseball team is the farm team for the Colorado Rockies, who suck shit. So
yeah, famously so.
You can only imagine how not good the AAA team is.
I mean, just give it a year or two. They'll switch allegiances. Since I've lived where I live, our AAA team, I think, has been 4 different farm systems.
That's the shitty part, is that for the longest time, this was the team for the Dodgers until the Dodgers were good.
Wow. What I like is that near where I grew up was the New Jersey Jackals. And they are unaffiliated with a team. So it's just guys who really like baseball and are kind of good at it. So it's like literally the stadium is next to the Yogi Berra Museum. So it'd be a classic school trip. You'd go to the Yogi Berra Museum and then you'd go right next door, watch a Jackals game. All the kids would be like, these are celebrities. And I'm sure that those dudes were like, this is the best day of my fucking life. That I'm signing these baseballs for all these kids out here. It was a real win-win.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they did suck.
When I was in Minnesota, we had the Mankato Moondogs.
Fun name.
And the Rochester Honkers.
Also very good. Maybe better, some are saying.
I mean, truthfully, minor league baseball is undefeated in team names. Like, they got such good. There was one of my favorite was the Piedmont Boll Weevils.
Nice.
That's just, I mean,
yeah.
It's hard to beat some of those names.
I wonder if they played that Presidents of the United States of America song.
Boll Weevil, check them out.
It was every player's walk-up song.
By contract,
I'm
they
doing
were
peaches.
Not allowed to pick another one.
Peaches.
No, sit down. Don't do peaches if you know it's good for you.
Sorry, Mark, we traded you. You couldn't get on board.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can start talking about the plot of this movie, such as it is. It begins with some very mind's eye coded production cards and title sequences, some 90s CGI. Taken to a photo exhibition displaying the work of Y. Suzumori. Salarymen are pointing in awe at Suzumori's war photography.
Insane photo exhibition to start this fucking movie with.
Mere minutes into this children's movie, we see a very graphic picture, which I'm pretty sure is real, of a soldier with the top half of his head blown off.
Mm-hmm.
Unhinged.
Yeah.
The guy's head and also the decision.
Yeah. It's cool for a kid's movie. Like, you can have a little bit of people's heads blown off.
What's one war crime between friends?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the thing that I tell people, though. Like, my friends that have kids, they're like, oh, or I'm just waiting for him to turn 6 so I can show him this movie. And like, honestly, I watched a lot of like weird shit when I was a kid. And if you're a kid and you just have no context for like what sex or violence is, like that stuff just washes right over you. Like you don't even notice it, really. Like you would be more likely as a kid to be disturbed by like Nightmare Before Christmas, because there's like spooky elements to it.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's also funny to think like 5 years and 364 days, they cannot handle it. But brother, when they hit that number 6, watch out.
Showgirls 2.
It unlocks all kinds of knowledge for them on that day.
I wouldn't subject my child to Showgirls 2.
Weak. You're weak, and that's why your child will be weak.
I did show her, she just turned 3, and I did show her the opening of Jaws the other day.
Nice. That's a good one.
Like, you can watch this.
And even though in the 4K, you can see the nudity, I'm sure it washed right over her because she didn't understand. So there you go.
She just hit a stage where she's like, show me shark stuff. I'm like, all right.
Hell yeah.
You asked for it, dog.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm actually thinking that Jaws is actually a very good movie. And not many people have talked about this before, but it is actually very good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also thinking, show me shark stuff.
And also, I'm thinking that the mayor, again, sorry to jump ahead, but the mayor is a bit of a Jaws mayor. He's a bit of a Jawsman.
He is. I mean,
Larry Vaughn himself.
I guess now that you say that, this could go on my list, my letterbox list of Capitalism is the Real Monster, which are movies that follow the Jaws plotline of like, there's some weird monetary incentive for people to just ignore everything around them.
Hell yeah.
Although
definitely this wise.
Kappas they're not hurting anyone.
They kill several people in this.
They deserved it.
I'm not saying that's not true.
I mean, you've never gone toe to toe in a sumo match against a Kappa, dude. They love it. So, you know, they're good as hell.
Yeah.
They only love a few things. So you know that they're great at the ones that they love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in the middle of this photo exhibition, a speaker steps up to a microphone at the front and he's like, so this is Suzumori's agent, this dude. He says that Yuta Suzumori, a.k.a. Y Suzumori, which I'm like, hey, wow. Oh, I wonder if there's anyone in the audience that's like, oh, Y Suzumori, Yuta Suzumori.
Yeah, I don't know. I always feel like when there is like wordplay like that, I am like is this something? Am I supposed to be getting like a joke here? It was weird. I was recently watching like a foreign version of that show Taskmaster, and they would stop in the middle of the captions to be like, and here's the context for this reference that they're making.
Pop-up video style.
Yeah, it was really weird, but I kind of appreciated it. And so what I'm saying is all movies should interrupt the dramatic flow in order to provide that kind of contextual subtitle. And I won't hear otherwise.
Yeah, so the agent says it's been 15 years since Suzumori has held an exhibition in Japan. It's been 10 years since he's been in the country. Suzumori steps up to the microphone and begins to talk about his work when suddenly a young man in the crowd begins to slow clap.
Hell yeah.
Good shit.
Powerful. And it's some beautiful chiaroscuro lighting. Shadowy as hell out there.
Yeah, I was, considering the sort of things I usually talk about on this podcast, I mentioned that the last episode wasn't a Kevin Smith NFT movie. I do have to say, like, this is an actual movie.
Yeah.
Like, people lit, composed, and acted in the scenes. And, like, we're going for something. There's a lot of canted angles in it. Do they serve a true purpose? Probably not, but it's a level of visual interest that does not usually exist in, say, a Lone Tiger or Kilroy Was Here.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that it never feels like I'm watching something struggle to get made. Honestly, it feels kind of high budget for like the level of quote unquote ripoff that it is. Like when they lit all that stuff on fire, I was like, holy shit, this is intense. The little practical Kappas, they look good.
The big, whatever craft they're trying to construct in the cave looks incredible. I mean, it looks huge. So
yeah.
So this guy that's slow clapping, that's Suzumori's son, Isamu, and he's pissed. He says, "I'm not your son. You abandoned me and my mother 15 years ago. The stress of the situation is too much to handle and Suzumori collapses. And all the while, we're shown flashes of one of Suzumori's photographs depicting a young girl."
Very mad looking. You find out what this is at the end, but it's very confusing here at the beginning. So. Yeah.
A seed planted that will blossom 2 hours from now.
I don't even know if the explanation at the end really
doesn't matter.
It's kind of just shoehorned in.
Yeah. One of many things that perhaps could have been trimmed in order to prevent this from being a 2-hour movie.
Yeah. So they go to a hospital. We get a little more background. Apparently, Suzumori has some shrapnel located near his heart. He also goes in caves a lot. It's really kind of the Tony Stark of Japan when you think about it.
I actually agree with that.
He's already had 2 operations, and when Suzumori comes to, he attempts to explain everything to his son. He says he doesn't have long to live, and oh, by the way, when I was a young boy, I saw a Kappa in my home village. And he holds up a mysterious crystal ball, and we flash back to the summer of 1953.
I pulled this out of my friend's asshole.
Yeah, it does kind of recontextualize it for me now that I know that he harvested that from an anus at some point in time.
Yeah.
He learned from the Kappa. He learned from them. He studied their ways. He's sort of the Jake Sully of the Kappa-verse. And in that way, this is more Jimmy Cameron style.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about this, but so 1953, the movie was released in 1994. The young Yuta that we follow shortly after this scene where they do a flashback is 8 years old. So he was born in 1945. Assuming that this movie takes place in 1994, this guy is like the sickliest 59-year-old I've ever seen. He plays like an 80-year-old, like he's just constantly having heart attacks every time the wind blows.
It is intense. And, it's funny because it sort of loses the impact on the 3rd or 4th collapse.
Wait, no, not even 59. He would be 49, right?
Wow.
1945 to 1994.
I believe you. I am bad at math, and so I choose not
that's
to
a rough
engage.
49.
Well, he's got all that shrapnel near his heart. I mean, leaching heavy metals into his bloodstream and shit.
Yeah. Ozzy's in there, Dio, the whole gang.
He could fix it. Tony Stark built this in a cave.
Oh, fuck. Hold on. We got to talk about Tony Stark now. This is the perfect middle ground between everything we've been talking about up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, actually, I'm thinking we should cut this, and we just need to
copyright.
Yeah, we need to hammer out Tony Stark.
It might be just some sort of slip because I watched Gotti randomly yesterday, and that sounds like...
Not randomly. It's because you're a true guy's got a Gotti head.
Yeah.
I think there's a part where Tony Stark dramatically snaps his fin.
What's the suit that he gets into called?
I don't
know. This is why we got to just cut it. We'll hammer out the details off camera. But this is
all I can think of is the scene where Tony Stark says, Amity Island is the greatest fucking city in the world.
And you know what? He's right. And if you're not born there, you'll never be an Islander.
That's right.
And that's what Pepper Potts says to him. And her real name is... Nope, not getting there.
No. We lost the bit.
You got the wrong 5DR co-host on to answer these kinds of questions, dude.
No, I hold myself accountable. I do not put the blame on you.
So back in 1953, 8-year-old Yuta is walking along a dirt road playing the harmonica, and...
Playing is generous.
Hey, take that fucking harmonica down to the parking lot.
We see he and his friend are passed by a small truck with a Kappa scarecrow thing, and the driver says, "Come see the movie."
I do agree with George. Saying it's playing is generous. He's just raw dogging the hell out of that. Just
you say like that, but he
corn cob
improvises with the best of them later on.
Incredible. I think it speaks more to their musical talent than his.
Yeah. So this truck that's passing by that was an actual thing that happened in rural Japan, Junkai Joe, which is just like rural peoples don't get to see movies. So someone just travels across the country with a projector and a film print to show them. So kind of cool.
Rad as hell, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I wish. I guess that does happen. So here still. Movies in the park or whatever is basically the same thing. So Yuta and his friend Katsuji are stopped on the road by a group of bullies. They make fun of Yuta's father for wearing an apron, and they call him a sissy cop. And they force Katsuji to tell Yuta the cop is a woman. And the bullies take Yuta's harmonica and chuck it into the grass.
Now, we have to admit that this friend character, in quotes, exists solely to betray the main character at every turn.
Yeah.
It's horrible. This kid sucks so bad.
Almost like a Norman Osborn Green Goblin situation.
Oh my God. And this is the Harry.
Or Harry Osborn, that's what I meant to say.
Right. And everyone knows that Norman Osborn was the Green Jaws mayor.
That Tony Stark fought?
That's right.
Yeah, Katsuji kind of sucks as a friend, but he does seem to be the littlest of the group, so you can't really fault him too much.
I can fault him. Just watch me.
Okay.
I got punched when I was little. I stood up for stuff.
Yeah.
That cop is not a woman.
That's right. And actually, he's my friend's dad.
Yeah, so basically none of this it may explicitly be stated, but the subtitles leave a little bit to be desired. I think what it is that Yuta, so for whatever reason, Yuta's father went to Tokyo to be a cop. Yuta was born in Tokyo, so he's like an outsider. At some point, they were like, hey, we really need a cop in our village, so could you come back? And then the mom died from non-specific illness.
From needs to provide motivationness.
Yeah.
The dad doesn't do himself a ton of favors. I mean, he's always kind of like bumbling around and he wears his cop hat backwards. And, he kind of,
Not a very good cop.
They literally just bitch at him for not being able to predict crime before it happens.
Yeah, I did enjoy that where, it just proves the whole issue with policing in general is that they are purely a reactive thing. And so this is why you need to fund the resources that prevent crime in the first place, because all the cops can do is show up after the fact and take a report. So this is actually a very scathing critique of policing in general. And for that, I salute Kappa.
So
all Kappas are bastards, though.
What you're saying is you support Ronald Reagan's Star Wars program, because that would be the only way to prevent the crimes in this movie.
Well, unfortunately, that is what I'm saying, I suppose.
I feel like we're getting into a real flock scenario here where as long as we just watch everything all the time, people will be good. And I
actually meant more like making sure that they're clothed and fed. But yeah, actually just watching them all the time sounds good too.
I mean, I think the rational thing is we should clothe and feed people and help them. But the thing that actually happens is we'll just put cameras everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. That will stop crime.
Mm-hmm.
If everyone's afeared for their lives, then surely they'll behave.
Mm-hmm.
So Yuta's grandfather happens to show up just then and begins to explain the local history of the surrounding countryside. You see that, you see that cave on Tenjin Pond? That's called Kawarashi Cave. That's where the guardian Kappa lives. Thanks to him, our village has never been short of water.
And if you touch the sides of the cave in the right way, you can fight Reggie Ice.
Fuck yeah. That evening, Yuta, his father, and his grandfather enjoy a meal of miso soup and turnip greens. And Yuta asks his grandfather if Kappa die too. He says, when a male Kappa dies, he turns into a spirit orb. But when a female Kappa dies, she turns into an aurora.
Now, isn't it interesting that these aliens happen to die in the exact same way that Kappas do?
Much to consider.
I'm kind of coming back around to maybe these are Kappas and the knee tattoo is wrong.
Or possibly this village has been killing Kappas for centuries.
That seems possible as well. They've just been capturing aliens. This is the tourist spot. Yeah.
Why didn't he mention you got to knock the bowl off their head to kill them?
These ones don't even have bowls, it didn't seem like, right?
Mm-mm.
I guess they store the bowl in their testicle sack.
Yeah. Pee is stored in the bowls.
That's right.
That's right. A 360.
Yeah, baby.
Yuta's mother is dead, so we find out the reason that Yuta's father wears an apron and all of the kids make fun of him is because he's filling the role as both parents, which it's like, you don't have to wear an apron. Like, if everyone's making fun of you, you could just not do that.
It also could be not the most feminine apron in the world, like the one that he's wearing.
Well, that's probably the one that was laying around. I mean, you got to go buy a whole new apron. It seems like a lot of work. If your
son's getting humiliated every day, seems like the least you could do is get one with like Ninja Turtles on it or something.
I mean, you could just wear a big T-shirt, you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
or just be careful.
Something
I've
with
never
holes
once
in it or
worn
something.
an apron, and I cook all the time.
All right. Bragging camp also going well, I see.
Yep. Yuta sees his father in this apron and tells him to take it off, and his father almost smacks the shit out of him.
Boy, if I talked to my dad that way, I'd be in the same boat, my man.
He loves his apron.
I'm sure that it is his wife's. And so he's probably like, this is how I stay close to her. The memory lives on. You know, loser shit.
Yeah. I mean, so much of it is like the kids are basically making fun of him because his mom is dead.
Yeah, that's right.
He's fucked up.
Ha 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 ha. Single dad, single dad.
The next day, Yuta ties a cucumber to his fishing pole and goes fishing for Kappa.
Man, is that what was on that fishing pole? Because I could not figure out. It might be a later cut. It's when his harmonica falls in the water.
Mm-hmm. No, that's the same sequence.
I couldn't tell what the hell he was putting on that fishing pole.
I don't know what to tell you.
Looked like a rock to me.
An oblong, green, smooth, succulent rock.
Nah, I'll send you the screenshot later. You'll agree with me.
He drops his harmonica in the water and something below the surface steals it, and he tries to tell his grandfather about it, but Grandpa's just like, yeah, don't worry about it.
Grandpa typically so polite and receptive to the grandson, and then for him to just turn around in this moment is so atypical. Weakest moment of characterization, and it's why I give this movie an F cinema score and a thumbs down.
Harsh but fair. Yuta's friend Katsuji apologized.
I just added your ratings to the IMDb trivia.
Oh,
Great. And also there wasn't even a single Tony Shark.
Yuta's friend Katsuji apologizes for saying the cop is a woman and brings Yuta a ticket to watch the Kappa movie, and the whole frickin' village is there to watch this weird slapstick yokai thing.
Look, they kind of do it here, but okay, they're all, this is Japan. They're all just setting on a flat level of ground. You got to have some organization of, you got to stand against this wall. We take your height. That determines where you set.
Yeah.
You want some 6'2" guy sitting in front of you? That's awful.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
Well,
but then they all complain, right? They're like, "Oh, this is sizeism. You're gonna make me have a bad view because I'm tall." And it's like, unfortunately, yes.
I mean, the view is better in the back anyway. You can't.
And if you're up front, you can't smooch your sweetie.
True.
I guess you could. It's just less polite.
All right. Okay. You get assigned a spot, but you are free to move around at your discretion.
You have to convince the other seat holder to trade with you, though.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Smooching, yay or nay? Is that allowed?
At the theater?
Yes.
Yay, dude. You got to smooch at the theater.
You got to smooch, dude.
So then how are smooching partners grouped up?
Well, that you explain. You come in together. You say, we need something off to the side. And they know. They say, oh, okay.
It's like how when you are in different groups, when you're boarding an airplane, you're like, oh, we're traveling together. And they're like, okay, fine. You could just go on.
Usually they tell you to go fuck yourself.
Or you meet someone new, same height as you. That could work out too.
Yeah.
And in many ways, it seems much more meant to be.
Yeah, you've already got something similar between you. Build off your height.
Opposites attract, but same heights are for life.
Mm-hmm.
We all remember the Paula Abdul song, George. You don't have to quote it for us.
I'm sorry. It just is such a beautiful, beautiful poem, really.
Yeah, they watch this movie. After the movie, Yuta and Katsuji go back to Yuta's house and draw no less than 40 pictures of Kappa. Good stuff.
I actually really liked this because it really did bring me back to being a little boy and like having to hold the image in your head to draw it. Like you didn't even have like a picture to be like, and I'm copying directly. You had to be like, I just saw this movie. This character was fucking awesome. I need to transcribe it, get it out of my head onto paper so that I can just think about it all the time and keep the memory sharp. And so that was a very real moment that I enjoyed that felt like actual childhood to me.
Mm-hmm. Also, I mean, I was never good at art, but I knew a kid in the 3rd grade that for all 6 hours, he was drawing airplanes. Like that's, he didn't care what was happening up at the front of the classroom. Just drawing
I did
airplanes.
think it was weird when Yuta drew the Stussy S.
Oh.
It's like, he was like, this is going to be huge. Trust me, your kids are going to love it.
Chris, what if they had what if they had flipped a page and Kilroy was hanging out on one of those?
Whoa. He's truly is an American yokai when you think about it.
Yeah. Oh,
kind of the first meme, too, I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, the main part that reminds me of my childhood is when my dad was crushed by a tree. So, unfortunately, this brought up some dark memories for me.
Damn. That'll do it, though.
Can't believe he wore his apron today.
Again, it's kind of Spider-Man-y that he's like, oh, I bear responsibility for going into the cave and then not stopping the robber when he went out and he shot my uncle cop dad.
Mm-hmm. It's getting late. Katsuji needs to go
Do something,
home.
Tony Shark.
Save me, Tony Shark.
Help.
On the day of your daughter's wedding. It's getting late. Katsuji needs to get home, so he borrows the Suzumori family bike to get home quicker.
And their bat.
Yeah, Yuta gives him a baseball bat to defend himself in case he's attacked by a Kappa. And wouldn't you know it, he is attacked by a Kappa, sort of, I guess.
attacked, in quotes.
Mm.
More like Kappa was there and this little boy tried to stand his ground.
This part really doesn't make that much sense, and we can talk about it a little bit more when we get to the part where we meet the Kappas. But Katsuji stops on the road by Tenjin Pond. He hears a rustling in the tall grass. 2 sticks come flying towards him. Mm-hmm. So he hurls the baseball bat into the grass, and then a spirit ball bounces out of the grass and stuns him, knocking him off his bike.
It is incredible precision on his part.
Yeah.
I mean, knowing what I know now, I think my first step would be protect my anus, guard it with my hands.
Well, the best defense is a good offense. So
that's right.
Really, you want to attack the anus.
Even more true in baseball.
Do some Krav Maga and really just get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Katsuji's mother comes to Yuta's house in search of her son. Yuta's father tells her that the boy already left. They go searching for him and they find him unconscious on the road. The villagers agree that Katsuji was attacked by a bear, and they form a hunting party and head out into the night to kill the bear. And Kron, I feel like you know a little bit about the perils of bears in these small Japanese villages.
You know, when I first started this movie, I thought, I wonder why I was picked for this one. And then we got to this bear stuff, and I thought, I think I found my niche on dead formats.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No longer wondering.
You got a party hunting a bear, you get Kron on the show.
I mean, completely unintentional because I didn't watch this until yesterday.
Wow.
But this movie actually has like quite a few similarities to Yellow Fangs. I would say like there is the telling the story with like these weird different timelines. Some of the themes are similar, which you could talk about later. But, you know, small village attacked by a bear. It's impossible not to draw the parallel to Yellow Fangs.
If only there had been a baddie in a fur bikini at the end of this thing.
If only.
And if only the Kappa just like murdered a kid in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
I mean, I would have liked it if he killed this little fucking punk ass kid who was a pain in my ass the whole damn movie. But, you know, much like A New Sweetie at the cinema based on height, it was just meant to be that this came to Kron.
Mm-hmm.
So Yuta follows the bear party to see what's... So leading this party is Katsuji's dad, and he is a major asshole named Mosaku. He also has aspirations to become the mayor of this village of probably less than 50 people.
Mm-hmm.
He's like not that much more of an asshole than the other town members, to be honest.
Yeah.
Is there
you're a product of your environment, you know?
Is there an acting mayor? Like, do we ever meet?
The guy in the white suit is the mayor. Like the older guy's always wearing a white suit, glasses, and like a white fedora.
Okay. Well, I thought he was kind of like a henchman for the other guy, though, that's trying to become the mayor.
Well, that's just because...
Yeah, the other guy. But they took money from both. He was like, oh, we never should have done that.
All right.
Now we're the fools who took money from both.
That what you're seeing, Kron, is a beta in the presence of an alpha. So even though he is the real mayor, de facto just becomes a henchman towards the end because this guy Mosaku is just so alpha.
Yeah, that's fair.
And he is that alpha.
Mm-hmm. Yuta follows the bear party to see what's going on. As the bear party searches for the Kappa, they find the mayor's daughter and her boyfriend hiding in the grass, making out, smooching, continuing their smooch sesh from the movie earlier that day.
Mm-hmm.
And the mayor hurls his lantern at the boyfriend, which immediately starts a massive fire around Tenjin Pond.
That's how these things happen, man. Cow kicks a lantern over. You see a guy kissing your daughter, you know, burn an entire city to the ground.
Gender reveal.
Mm-hmm.
This mayor sucks, man. Everybody in this movie fucking sucks.
Sky is pretty cool.
Sky is not everybody. They're an every alien.
Yeah.
Everybody is people.
So while this is going on, Yuta hears a strange noise. He follows it to find that the strange noise is actually coming from a Kappa whose arm is stuck in a bear trap. Yuta frees the Kappa, which promptly fucks off into the tall grass, but the fire is spreading, and Yuta finds refuge holding onto a tree emerging from the pond, and just then, a raft in the pond mysteriously makes its way towards Yuta. He climbs on and makes his escape.
This will pay off slightly later, but I kind of really like the payoff that it.
You sure about that?
Yeah, where they're just like,
Are you
and
sure
actually,
about that?
and
That
actually,
pays off.
Yes, because I like that it wasn't the Kappas. That there just like was a fucking raft there that floated up to him, and all the bullies are like, "You stole our raft, dipshit!"
So this is,
and now we're gonna kill you.
very much the most ET-ish part of the movie, because there's a lot of tall grass, a lot of catching glimpses of aliens within said tall grass.
Also, like Signs, when they come out and threaten to beat their asses.
But unlike Signs, these aliens thrive on the water.
Wow, much to consider, actually.
Mm-hmm. The next morning, it's pandemonium. The Buddha statue outside the schoolhouse has been sawn off at the legs and carried away. The nest at the top of the watchtower is gone too.
No gods, no kings, just men, baby.
That's right.
Just Kappa.
And it's also, I mean, I think pandemonium is actually over in China, not in Japan. So because of pandas, you see.
The villagers are left to question just what the fuck is Yuta's dad doing? He's the police officer. He's supposed to be stopping things like this.
Don't they have those little raccoon pandas in Japan?
Tanukis, yes, they do. Oh, that's a raccoon dog. Red pandas.
Damn it.
Is probably what you're thinking of, which are also in Japan.
Okay. So we can say pandemonium.
Okay, you're right.
Red pandemonium.
Right. Red pandemonium.
Yuta and Katsuji take the raft into Kawarashi Cave to search for the Kappa. When they get there, there's Kappa statues everywhere. Yuta ties himself to one of the statues with a rope, lights a candle, and ventures into the cave. He sees a Kappa, but as he goes to pursue it, he's dragged back to the entrance of the cave by the bully kids. They're pissed at Yuta for stealing their raft. They beat him up and leave him in the cave to rot.
Yeah, I will say, I feel like the bullies are good actors.
They just got real bullies.
They just got real bullies. They just, they got this one kid who was never in movies again because they got his real bullies to be opposite him.
As Yuta is sitting at the mouth of the cave, something from inside the cave throws Yuta's lost harmonica at him, and he once again ventures into the cave, and as he enters a small crawlway, he runs into the Kappa. They scream at each other, and they run away. But still determined, he goes deeper into the cave and finally gets to a large chamber where he's confronted by a big Kappa. Apparently the one we've seen this whole time was but a baby. Guys,
I like it when you call me Big Kappa.
How would you describe these Kappas?
They kind of look like green aliens with ball sacks on their necks.
They strike me as related to Pumpkinhead.
Whoa.
Good call.
That's fair.
Yeah, they're like anthropoid, I don't know, like reptilian. The adult male has like a triceratops crest on its head that lights up when he's angry.
So just like the rest of us.
Yeah. The little one looks developmentally delayed.
So just like the rest of us.
But he's cute as hell.
Yeah, he really is.
I think after we finish Tony Shark, we write like a Kappa tie-in for... Shit, what was the movie we were just talking about?
E.T.
No, it wasn't E.T.
Spider-Man.
No, Pumpkinhead. We write Pumpkinhead 4, and they have like
there's
Kappa
already
book.
4 of them, so...
Okay, we write Pumpkinhead 5.
There you go.
We'll get Bill Clinton's brother back in the mix.
Fuck yeah.
But we need to do that, you know how in Jason Goes to Hell, they have the Necronomicon hanging out on a bookshelf or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll just have like a Kappa lore book in Pumpkinhead 5.
And much like Jason Goes to Hell, instead of like a worm transferring bodies, it's one of these orbs
it's the
that
orbs,
crawls up
and it's
your
actually
ass.
the orb. I like that. I do feel like maybe instead of Pop-a-Cat, there's something with like Pump-a-Cat, and that way it uses like Pumpkinhead and Kappa, and like, you know, there's maybe something there. I'm not saying we have to use that. I'm just saying that, like, you know, it's a possibility. Blue skies, and not just because the character was named Sky.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So yeah, Yuta pisses his pants But the little Kappa tells the big one that everything's okay, I guess, which is where this differs from E.T. is that the Kappas do not speak English. So we are left to interpret a lot of things that go on.
They will in Pumpkinhead 5.
Yeah. So yeah, Yuta follows the creatures into their humble underground abode, wherein there is some sort of giant mechanical device made out of scraps pilfered from the village that's doing something. I don't know. Didn't really ever make sense to me.
I mean, they're thinging it, right? Like they're trying to rebuild a spacecraft out of harvested stuff.
It's crazy that all these things add up just perfectly to get it to be a spaceship again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The flux
What are the odds?
capacitor.
What are
just
the odds that they can
happened to
find
be-
every single thing in this village, in this tiny village?
They're that good of engineers that they can figure out how to adapt to.
Even little Sky with his developmental disability.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But inside the cave, there's another Kappa, apparently the mother of the family, and she appears to be sick. Yuta asks the baby Kappa what's wrong with his mother. The baby Kappa, through the power of telepathy, shows him a vision of a bat hurling through the air, which seems to suggest that Katsuji mortally wounded the mother when he threw a bat into the grass.
That's right.
It is honestly fucking crazy.
Some real Simon Birch shit over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a prayer for Owen Meany for sure. This is insane. It's crazy to think that he fucking nailed her in the head. It's crazy to think, like, from her perspective, what it looks like to just be standing in the grass and suddenly she's getting fucking brained by this bat. It's this little fucking dweeb-ass kid who exists only to betray the main character. God, what a way to go.
Yeah. I thought this was super funny, but reading into Kappa lore, they are said to be so slick and so slimy that you can't hit them with a sword. You need a blunt object like a sharpened hemp shaft to penetrate a Kappa.
Wow.
So I'm like, maybe that's what they were going for, but to ugly American eyes, I'm just like, shh. He threw a fucking bat at her and she fucking died.
I keep a sharpened hemp shaft right next to my bed, dude.
I mean, you gotta. It's just security.
Mm-hmm.
You hope to never use it, but you have to have it there.
Yeah, but you got to be prepared.
Exactly.
Wonder if Batman has one on his belt with his kryptonite tipped arrows and shit.
He's prepared for everything, right? You give him enough time. He's like, I'm going to Kappa Village. I better bring the sharpened yew staff.
Kappa? Why did you say that name?
That was the name of my mother.
Oh, fuck.
Alfred, how's my asshole covering coming? Hold on.
Alfred, this is just like when my parents were murdered in Kappa Crime Alley.
Mm-hmm.
It really is Master Kappa Wayne.
I'm just thinking of him.
They just put Kappa in front of stuff.
Like a butt plug attached to like underwear with a lock, like a chastity butt plug.
Okay, yeah,
They'll never get me.
Yeah, it sounds dumb until it works. I mean,
so this movie is an hour and 57 minutes long.
really? It flew by.
Yeah. Also in this scene,
Oh, weird. I actually disagree, Kron. I actually don't feel like it flew by.
They explain in this scene that Kappa are actually aliens. This is the scene where we really get to see them for the first time. It's about 50 minutes into the movie. And I was watching this and I was like, okay, we're going to get nonstop Kappa action from here on out. Boy, was I wrong.
If only. But so this is my question. Is it that all Kappa are actually aliens, or is it that these Kappa happen to be aliens? Because if all Kappa are aliens, then what are they doing in our ponds and not being in the sky? I interpreted it as these just happen to be aliens that do the same shit that Kappas do.
That's pretty much how I took it, too.
It's crazy. It's so synchronic with our lore. I suppose, I mean, could they have been there long enough to be like the basis of the myth?
As you've said multiple times, much to consider.
Much to consider. And that's why this movie is actually an A+.
It's sort of like in how in like
and a thumbs up.
the Odyssey, like they were the sea people.
Wow. You're so right. It's exactly like that. And that's another Nolan-esque similarity. It's really, all the great modern masters are pulling from Kappa.
And they're stealing like statues and temple bells. So like it's almost as if they know that their age of bronze is about to end.
Wow. And he's like, and I must get to Ithaca. And they're like, I didn't know that was the name of your planet, Kappa.
Wow. So we flash back to the present day. The adult old man, Yuta, is leaving the hospital and heading to his home village. We get a montage of Yuta as a child spending time with his grandfather that culminates in Grandpa dying. Yuta and his father are at Grandpa's memorial praying, and somehow it's at this point that Yuta learns that his grandpa was his father's dad.
In this very quick flashback, it's supposed to cover, here's me and Grandpa, all of our times together. But you really only get like 3 beats of it. And one of them is the Grandpa's rice ball falls into the river.
That's how you know that he's old and dying, Kron. He can't even hold on to a rice ball anymore. Grandpa has dementia.
These are your 3 core memories of Grandpa is one where he biffed it and lost his whole lunch.
That's right. Suddenly your memory becomes just when you lose the real one, right?
Yuta begins to tell his father about the Kappa, but before he can get the words out, a villager screams in the distance. Now the temple bell has gone missing, and again the villagers blame Yuta's father and the mayor for letting this happen.
And they're right too.
Yeah. Yuta goes back to the cave to find that the father Kappa is playing a fucking glass harmonica. And the baby Kappa is playing some sort of musical bow and arrow. Yuta joins them on the regular harmonica for a good old-fashioned hoedown. Probably the best scene of the movie for me.
Yeah, they look like they're doing like a friggin' jug band rendition or something. They're going crazy out there.
Yeah, I liked it. So in this part, we get a montage of like just people in the village doing things rhythmically, whether it's like beating a bell or like chopping up some celery or whatever.
But they're like controlling them. They force them to go out of control. They send nature out of rhythm.
It's like this
because of fucking Yuta. Because Yuta's ass had to. He's like, let me sit in on the jam sesh. Let me sit in on the jam sesh. And then suddenly everybody's chopping shit in half and chopping also branches in half and also
also chopping
each other in half. It gets intense.
I don't know. It's like this scene that's like, oh, we are all in symbiosis with nature. I found it like oddly endearing and like kind of a beautiful scene.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just like any port in a storm kind of thing, but
I liked it until it went overboard. When they were like, and actually they can go out of rhythm. Because I liked it when it was just like, oh, they are a force of nature. They do keep things in check. They are part of the natural system. And actually, that's part of why I don't like that they're fucking aliens.
Good point. Much to consider, TM.
Much to consider.
Would have been cool if you get that lead in and then it just cuts to a stage and one guy's banging trash cans and one guy's sweeping a broom. And this was all an elaborate intro for Stomp.
Wow. That would be great. And I'm sure that Chris will love this reference, could be like one of the final, the return, when they're at the bar and they do all these performances to close out every episode. And it actually turns into the fact that they're at they're in Twin Peaks. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought Kron was going to say it cuts to a stage. One guy's banging a trash can. One's wearing a mask with dreadlocks, and another one has like spikes sticking out of his mask, and it's actually Slipknot at Lollapalooza 99.
Whoa.
Wow. If only that they had been actual Kappas.
So I think that's like
you could easily tie in a baseball bat being thrown into a beer keg.
You could do a match cut where like the baseball bat flying into the woods becomes dan, 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 dan.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah. All right, we'll get them for Pumpkinhead 5. Pump a cap into your ass or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They do it. They love money.
And who wouldn't do Kappa 5?
Yeah.
It's also Kappa 5. We're skipping the other Kappa sequels.
It's Pumpkinhead 5/Kappa 5.
It's more of a Tokyo Drift situation where it's like actually like the 8th movie in Kappa.
Oh, in the chronology?
Yeah.
And it's also, in many ways, a Fast and Furious Presents. Because they
Sky
are
and
fast and
Kappa.
Furious. Yeah, exactly. They ride a vehicle into space, and they have to get the pink slips, and they steal some portable DVD players.
Mm-hmm.
It's all there. It's all there.
The father Kappa says, "I'm in your face."
We're one layer away from Fast and Furious references I will not understand.
Oh, I can go for days.
That's because you got a 10-second mind, Kron.
You're with me now. You think I'm going to let you roll in a Hyundai?
The Rock. I just realized I had this batarang, Kapparang.
Whoa.
Wow.
Cover your Uranus with that tonight.
So same as usual.
So that night, the mayor drunkenly crashes his bike into the pond, but he is rescued by the Kappa. Again, Yuta tries to tell his father about the Kappa, but his father tells him to shut the fuck up. And the next morning, it's the day of the Kappa festival, and the mayor calls some of the hunters to his house, and he wants them to catch a Kappa so they can use it as a tourist attraction.
Yeah, he doesn't want them to decapitate it.
That's right. Yuta goes...
Did you just come up with that, dude?
Yeah, dude.
That's fucking good.
Fuck yeah. Yuta goes back to the cave. The baby Kappa, Sky, is with his father watching the mother slowly die in her Rube Goldbergian hyperbaric chamber.
Man, it looks rough in there. It's covered in condensation. You just, in your final minutes, you got to be in moist humidity. I mean,
but that's what they want, is what I'm gathering.
I don't want that.
Yeah, it looks kind of Matrixy in there.
Haven't seen it.
Does it?
Yeah, like when they're in the goo. When you see them in their little baby sacks, and they're like, "Oh, you're a battery."
I mean,
he goes, "You're a battery, you old saving and loan."
Speaking of goo, this is, with her last dying breath, she reaches out to her son, but before she can touch him, this is when she explodes into a puddle of jizz and flies out of the cave in the form of an aurora.
Just who like I did when I was watching this movie.
Yeah, who among us?
Let he who is without jizz cast the first stone.
That's right. And that stone came out of your butt.
So while this is going on, the Kappa hunters are at the entrance of the cave. The Kappa Aurora flies past them, which causes one of the hunters to fall down onto some sort of two-pronged tool, which seems to be built specifically to get a very specific size of rock out of a crevice in a cave.
She also kind of does the librarian ghost and Ghostbusters thing at them.
Yeah.
The Aurora turns into the ghost face, and it's
ectoplasmic residue.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
Back to the present day, Yuta has returned to his home village, and he's taking pictures of an old woman praying at the temple. She's the last person in the village, and as this is happening, her son or grandson comes up and tells Yuta to stop taking pictures of his grandmother.
Yeah, but he's also like, "Get up, you old bat. Get the fuck out of here."
And that old bat killed the old lady Kappa.
Whoa.
The son pushes Yuta down to the ground. Seems like he's on the verge of another heart attack. But his son Isamu steps in to save him, and after the old woman and her son/grandson leave, the temple is torn down. Yuta's childhood village no longer exists.
Whoa.
This is what happens when the Kappa leave, right?
Mm-hmm. And so this is one of those things where it's like big Yellow Fangs vibes, because there is, I would say, more so in Yellow Fangs, maybe just because I think that's a better movie, but there is sort of this like bucolic yearning for your childhood and like the perils of modernity and how it fucks up all of that. But it's just sort of like, it's not like the main theme of the movie, really.
Yeah.
It's just like kind of there in the background.
In a way that makes you go, perhaps this could also have been trimmed a little so that this was not a 2-hour movie.
Or brought to the forefront to where there's like an actual theme.
Yeah, that could also happen, but truthfully, I think I lean towards the side of not 2-hour movie.
I mean, I get that they're a little similar, but, you know, also in Yellow Fang, like a bear punches a horse's head clean off its body. So it has that going in its favor, you know?
Sort of decapitated.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Flashback again. It's the night of the festival. The villagers are working themselves into a fervor with flutes, drums, dancers, and Kappa costumes. But the festivities are interrupted by the Kappa hunters. They say there really is a Kappa in the cave. And the mayor says he'll pay 5,000 yen to whoever captures it. And Mosaku says he'll pay 10,000 yen.
Clearly, the mayor we should be following. You know?
Bro's big pimpin'.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you think that they call flute groupies flutesies?
If they don't, they should.
I also feel that way.
We'd have to get Jethro Tull on the phone to really figure this out.
Their one-armed drummer. Oh, wait, no, that's Def Leppard.
Yeah, it's Def Leppard.
Sorry, I got it wrong. Jethro Tull fans are furious right now.
Def Leppard, they have a song called Photograph. It all ties in.
That's actually true.
Yuta's a photographer. Let's see. Yuta's father tries to calm the villagers down, but he's hit from behind, and the entire village heads towards the cave.
That was fucking crazy, right? That they hit this guy and like tie him up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure we were all on the same page for that.
Yuta is still in the cave, hanging with Mr. Kappa, if you will. And apparently the bully kids are also lost somewhere in the cave. And this is unfortunate because for some reason the villagers, their plan to capture the Kappa involves blowing up the cave.
Wow. This is a classic trap endeavor. Mm-hmm. It involves high explosives.
I mean, go ahead, pitch a better idea for capturing a Kappa than exploding the cave it lives in.
Kappa-turing it.
That's right.
Did you just write that, dude? That's fucking good.
I just wrote it on a piece of paper and then held it up and said, I'm going to say this.
I'm thinking a Johnny Cage-esque split uppercut reaching into the anus, grabbing the spirit ball.
Yeah. How else would they do it?
That was a $500 watchtower, asshole. Yeah. An old man that's passed out at the festival grounds is awoken by the female Kappa spirit. He finds Yuta's father tied to a tree and says, I had a dream about the guardian Kappa. He unties Yuta's father and tells him to save the village. On the way to the cave, Yuta's father is stopped by Katsuji's mother because Katsuji is once again missing. And Yuta's father realizes that Katsuji must be in the cave again, and he races to the pond to try and stop them from blowing it up while the children are still inside, but he's too late. Those fucking maniacs, they blew it up. God damn them all to hell.
Well, they kind of misread his signal, right? Because he runs up and he's like, kids in the cave. And they're like, he's telling us to explode the dynamite now.
Well, it's the mayor's signal that they misinterpret. He gets the message to the mayor, and the mayor is like, oh, yeah, stop it. And they're like, perfect. The exact signal we were waiting for. The fact that it's the mayor's son further aligns him with Mayor Larry Vaughn of Jaws.
Wow.
Yeah,
my son was also in that Kappa cave.
We'll wait until you wave your arms wildly and yell stop. And that's the signal for us to detonate.
It's the perfect signal, because why else would they say it? They would never say stop otherwise. They want the Kappa.
Team America coded.
Uh-huh.
Yuta's father is going to save those damn kids anyway, and he swims to the cave entrance, ties himself to a rock using a rope, much in the same way that Yuta did earlier, and he heads in, and Yuta tries to lead Sky and Papa Kappa out of the cave, but they don't want to leave, so even with the whole place collapsing around them, they choose to stay. Yuta gives Sky his harmonica and says, "I'll come back for you someday." And as Yuta watches the Kappa retreat further into the cave, a massive rock falls from the ceiling, crushing and killing possibly both Kappa, but at the very least, the father. Yuta picks up the spirit ball and heads towards the sound of his father's voice.
Honestly, I was weeping at this point. It's such a beautiful moment.
Mm.
Really, really delicately handled.
I was watching the live stream of George weeping. And I started crying.
That's right. It's like how Kevin Smith would come out of movies and like record himself crying to be like,
I just watched the trailer for Kappa 5.
Yeah, exactly.
So Sissy Cop is leading Yuta, Katsuji, and the bullies. They get to the entrance. Sissy Cop is tied off with a rope still. And also, like, I don't know, Sissy Cop kind of sounds like a early 2000s like Sean Wayans comedy.
Yeah,
or
I was
like
say
like a Pink film.
Yeah, that too.
I was gonna say in the vein of like White Chicks or something.
I was thinking like White Chicks meets Mrs. Doubtfire. Like he's like a
Copyright.
security guard, like a ne'er-do-well security guard that gets fired, and then his wife divorces him. And then he finds out about, like, he's always had the dream of being a cop, but he reads in the newspaper that there's, like, some affirmative action where, like, they're only hiring gay cops. So he has to pretend to be gay to be Sissy Cop.
Wow, it's sort of a I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry meets Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Wow.
Sorry, Paul Blart Mall Blart.
The two franchises that we've all desperately been asking to be wed.
That's wed just like Adam Sandler and Kevin James, yeah.
How do you guys feel about Kevin James?
I'll always have a soft spot in my heart because of King of Queens, which I did watch a lot growing up. But he's mostly in bad stuff. I did like that Becky movie, I have to admit.
Yes.
That was pretty fun.
Good stuff.
I mean, justice for Observe and Report, the better Mall Cop movie that came out at the exact same time. So
yeah, sort of a Dante's Peak volcano situation.
Yeah, exactly.
With Paul Blart being Dante's Peak.
That feels right.
Which one was more successful? I think that would be Paul Blart.
Yeah, I think Dante's Peak was more successful.
I mean, that
and just
had,
like
that
better.
had the Brosman in it.
But Volcano had Tommy Lee Jones.
Not as good. When you're looking for a draw, like a moneymaker that you can slap on the poster, Tommy Lee Jones, great actor, not the draw that Pierce Brosnan is.
Yeah. Yeah, I just had I did rewatch King of Queens recently and had a long discussion with someone who hates Kevin James, so that's why I was thinking about it.
Like all of it? You watched all of King of Queens?
Yeah, there's like 9 seasons.
He had to find out how he became the king.
I feel like I only ever watched, I mean, I did watch a lot of it, but it was just like always on in syndication. So it would be like, I don't think I ever watched it in order. You know, it'd just be, I caught a random episode from season 6 and the next day it'd be like a random one from season 3.
Wow. It played before Still Standing, which our family also watched. So that was why we were there. Also, I mean, launched Patton Oswalt as an actor in there.
Every night you guys just watch the Elton John music video, I'm Still Standing.
That's right. That's right. No, Still Standing had it had the guy who played King Baratheon in Game of Thrones.
Haven't seen it.
Oh, well.
Charles Dance?
No. That's
Jason Momoa.
Also, no. Those are other kings.
Emilia Clarke.
Yes, that's the
Aquaman, dude.
Dude, you're thinking of Lobo from Spider-Woman. No, Supergirl.
Which I did see in theaters.
Oh, wow. 1 of the 10.
Yeah. Dragged to it by some people. He's wearing like a prosthetic chest/abdominal piece, which seems weird.
That does seem weird.
Not a good movie.
That I believe. That I actually believe.
I got to go take my chest piece off real quick.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, sissy cop. That's where I left off.
That's where we were.
Just then, the ground above the cave collapses, and Yuta's father is crushed by a fucking tree. With his last ounce of strength, he squats that shit, allowing the boys to escape. Yuta tries to untie his father, but he must look on helplessly as his dad is crushed to death.
More weight, sir.
Craziest thing about this is like when some guy pulls Yuta out whenever this is done, and he's like, "Look at your dead dad. He's a hero." It's like, I don't know if that takes the sting out. I mean, I guess it's better than watching your dad die a coward, but
yeah,
still.
I mean, if they hadn't seen that happen, he would have walked out and they all would have been like, "We hated your dad and we tried to kill him and tie him up and leave him in the forest."
Sissy cop.
Sissy cop, and we're all killing you as well.
Son of sissy cop.
Okay, here we go. That's also a Pink film, I feel.
I mean, I suggested some Pink films to Kron to bring to Six Lie for a weekly podcast massacre. Think they were a bridge too far.
Wow.
Yeah, probably not my speed. I mean, I brought Witchcraft 666, which that's right down the middle for Kron, dude. I mean,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't get behind what was it? Like rape officer?
6.
Yeah, I mean.
Nun in rope hell.
I've been seeing that one pop up on Letterboxd.
Yeah. People have been watching it. I don't know if there's a reason multiple people are watching this at the moment, or if it's just spreading. You see someone watch it.
I can't remember the label, but it was like I remember seeing the pre-order page for it. So
yeah, just the pre-order page, not the checkout page for you, right?
No, not for me.
He's waiting for the Criterion
Witchcraft
50%
VHS tapes.
That's right.
I mean, shout out to Two in the Pinku. I don't know if they have an episode specifically covering Nun and Rape Hell, but I'm sure they've mentioned it. Hey, just a quick editor's note. The day after we recorded this episode, Chris and Dakota did release an episode discussing Nun in Rope Hell. So, go check out that episode of Two in the Pinku. Back to the show. Yeah, hero's death, crushed by a tree in front of your son.
Well, they're actually referencing the Spider-Man comic that I was before. So they're also like, well, it's just like Spider-Man.
Back to the present. Oh,
it's crazy because that was actually the introduction of Tony Shark. A lot of people don't know that.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Shark.
We have a Kappa. Back to the present, Yuta and Isamu visit Sissy Cop's grave. Isamu learns what Yuta's father's name was, Yukichi. You named me Isamu after Grandpa.
Okay.
So the only thing I could come up with is that possibly the kanji for both Yukichi and Isamu can be read differently. So maybe they have maybe they both have the same kanji for their names, but it's read differently. That was the only thing I could come up with.
Wow. I believe you.
Is this also where he kind of sees them as like force ghosts?
You're thinking of the special edition that you saw later on.
No, it happens in this movie. And I did write down, do you think George Lucas is going to replace Yuta's dad with Hayden Christensen when they re-release Kappa?
Yeah. I mean, he always intended to have dewbacks wandering around Tenjin Pond, so that's going to be in there too.
Oh, it's like poetry. It rhymes. The Kappas are just like the Gungans.
They really are. They unironically really are. Sky's the key to all of this because he's a funnier character than we've ever had.
Oh, this village is sort of like Naboo. George Lucas was in the new Minions movie.
I've heard that.
Whoa.
How about that?
Who's he play?
Himself.
George Lucas.
He plays George Lucas. He's trapped in a display case at a museum.
Cool.
It was all right. You know, I don't understand who that movie's for. Like, our kids like, oh, I love old Hollywood and silent movie references.
I think it's for Nick Weiger.
I love Judy Garland.
Yeah, it's for one specific guy, and that guy is Nick Weiger.
So Yuta collapses again, and we see flashes of the same picture of the little girl from the beginning. As the two head towards the pond, Isamu asks his father, What brought him back to Japan? He explains that it was the eyes of the girl in the photograph, a Palestinian child with no home. It made him realize that he had been a douche his whole life, I guess.
And also, she was a Kappa.
Mm-hmm. And this is the same girl from the photo from the beginning of the movie, but I'm still confused at the inclusion of any of this.
He could not have come to this realization on his own. He had to have some outside force prompt it.
I think someone just told him he was an asshole, and this is just sort of like the narrative that he tells other people.
Sure, self-mythologizing.
Yeah, make it seem like some grand epiphany you came up with.
That ties into his photos as well, and so now that one is going to sell for $1 billion.
Fuck.
What better outside force than the aliens you discovered that live in the cave? I mean, the movies, they're going hat on a hat at this point.
41 years he waited to investigate the alien situation in his hometown.
Mm-hmm. Didn't even reclaim his damn harmonica. Who knows? Maybe he could have been a musician, and we saw the skills, right?
No, I saw him play that. He sucked, dude.
Imagine him doing like the whiplash thing, except it's a fucking alien like slapping the shit out of him, being like dragging, rushing. It might go a little something like this.
He could have been the Japanese John Popper.
Chris, insert the video here.
And the hook does bring you back.
Mm-hmm. Especially if there's a cucumber on the end of that hook.
So true, King. So true.
So as they get to the pond, the spirit ball falls from Yuta's bag, bounces around in a pipe, opens up a hole into the Kappa cave. There they find Sky.
It really bounces in this pipe for a good 15 seconds before we move on.
It's alien magic, Kron.
Yeah, but it's like it gets stuck in the pipe somewhere and it's just like boop, 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 boop.
Looks like sometimes like the turtle shell would do that in the very original Super Mario Brothers and shit. Just get stuck bouncing up and down. It did remind me of that.
This reminds me.
They are turtles in a way.
Wow.
Koopa,
Teenage Mutant.
Kappa. Hold on.
So this reminds me of something that I wanted to talk about that happens way earlier in the movie.
What do you mean you want a cucumber pizza?
Gross.
I agree. That's a bridge too far, even as a Q kid.
So earlier in the movie, when Katsuji throws a baseball bat into the woods, the spirit ball comes and attacks him, which the grandfather says when male Kappas die, they turn into spirit balls. But then we later find out that it was actually the female Kappa that was hit with a baseball bat. So why?
Oh, it's so simple, Chris. Obviously,
it's like a
different Kappa had just died and she was carrying that Kappa's orb. And then he didn't actually kill her right there. He just mortally wounded her. And so she limps back. And it actually makes perfect sense. Because this way it reflects the family. So that's Grandpa. That's Grandpa Kappa. And she was carrying his orb. And now much like Yuta, the mom will die, but through a slow baseball bat related trauma injury to the head.
Over the course of months, possibly.
Yeah, she lingers hard and they don't know how to say goodbye, so they just let it happen.
But that is like a thing throughout the movie that we haven't really said much about, is that everything about the Kappas like is a mirror image of Yuta's family. Like it's a dad and a son whose mother dies. There's some other things that I can't quite recall right now. Oh,
they play the instruments. They play musical instruments.
Getting crushed by objects to defend your son.
People call the Papa alien Sissy alien.
Yeah, I know I did.
Yeah, that's right. He was wearing a dumbass smock around.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really sure that part of the movie is saying anything other than it's like Yuta is just like kind of sad about it. It's like, oh, that reminds me of myself and I'm sad.
Everything reminds me of her. And then it's the fucking gross ass alien. In the picture on the dad's mantle, the mom also has like a giant nutsack stapled to her throat.
Hell yeah. And it's revealed she went to a baseball game and some guy let go of the bat and it struck her in the head as she sat in the stands.
Simon Birch shit, I'm telling you.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, this spirit ball bounces around, opens up a hole. They find Sky in there, who is now a withered old man himself at the age of 49. And he's apparently just been sitting there for the last 41 years. Sky and Yuta have a tearful reunion. Sky gives Yuta his harmonica. Yuta asks for Sky's forgiveness before he collapses and dies. Sky puts his hand on Yuta's temple and does some Kappa magic before closing the hatch on his spaceship and submerging into a pond within the cave. And Isamu carries his father's body out of the cave, and as he mourns his father next to the pond, Sky's spaceship emerges. Sky and Isamu exchange a knowing nod before Sky fucks off into outer space. The end.
Yeah, it becomes a little rote here at the end. You know, it's a story we've seen 1,000 times play out the exact same way, constantly exchanging gifts with the Kappa who fucks off to space. I mean, it's basically a trope at this point, but, you know, they execute it pretty well, I suppose.
Yeah.
His spaceship has like a ceiling fan that's upside down on it that's spinning. Is that powering?
That's something they stole from the village over the decades.
Yeah, but it's the only thing that's moving. It seems like that's motoring the vehicle.
That's all it takes, bro. That's all it takes.
Fuck. Advanced tech, dude.
So Kappa. Thoughts, gentlemen?
It probably didn't need to be 2 hours.
Definitely didn't need to be 2 hours.
I agree.
It feels a little bit like somebody watched Extra, but they were only allowed to make a Lifetime movie.
Boy, I was also just thinking about Extra, especially in the part at the very end where like the dad and Extra fuck off. Well, both extras. They're both extras at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And it did feel a lot like that. But the difference is that I love Extra and I do not love Kappa, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Merely was mildly amused by it. I did find myself drifting here and there away from being as entertained, but you know, there was some good stuff in there. There was some good practical effects, a huge fire that started and made me go, holy shit, they just started a huge ass fire. So I certainly didn't hate it, but I also did not love it.
Yeah, it's certainly a weird movie. It's just not a movie that entertained me in any real substantial way.
Yeah.
I kind of mentioned up top, I think I started this 5 times and finished twice because it takes so long before you even get to the Kappas that I would just find myself drifting away from the movie. And I really had to buckle down the 2 times to finish this thing out. But it is weird. It's like, I don't think they would make a kids movie like this anymore. There's some stuff to appreciate. I don't know if the Kappas seemed like a blend of maybe puppeteering and some computer graphic stuff.
Yeah,
mixed
definitely
in with it.
Sometimes in motion they were animated.
Yeah,
there was
CGI.
There was definitely like a very brief scene that I clocked each time that I watched this where like the baby Kappa is walking forwards and then for no reason turns around so he's ass forward to like where the camera would be and then does a very quick turn. It just seems like whatever program they had bugged out for a second and they were like, well, it works out, you know, like it's okay. So there's a little stuff like that mixed in that entertained me, but I don't know, you feel the 2-hour runtime certainly. Yeah. And it is just, I would say the movie in general is outside of the comfort zone of stuff that I watch these days, where this does feel a little bit more of like a lesson to be learned kind of family drama almost, you know? So just didn't have a lot of the stuff
So you're done growing is what you...
Yeah, I'm a big year old now, dude. I fucking know everything.
Completely ossified.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, I'm a Toys R Us kid, so I don't want to grow up.
I was certainly entertained by little bits and pieces throughout my viewings of this, but just too much stuff surrounding it that I couldn't hook into.
And a bunch of them like kind of don't really go anywhere. Like, you know, we talked about the little girl who winds up like prompting this great reveal. The bully kids like never really pay off. They're just
you kind of hope,
vanish.
I guess I kind of hoped at some point like, oh, I think the Kappa is going to like beat one of these kids up or punish them in some way because they're bad. And it's like that never happens.
No. So what you're saying is you wish it was 2.5 hours.
I wish it was an hour and 28 minutes and the Kappas were just wrecking this village.
Oh, actually, that does sound good. I also think I want that version of the movie.
Yeah, I do too. I think with the bully kids, it kind of reminds me of like All Monsters Attack, the Godzilla film with Minya, one of my faves. But in that movie, the kid Ichiro is bullied by kids, and like the way he overcomes it at the end is like by just also being a bully towards a guy and like pouring paint on him.
He learns how to shoot atomic breath.
Yeah, and this, it's like there is no lesson learned. It's just like, oh, we were wrong about your dad, but your dad's also dead now. I guess we'll stop picking on you, but you are Sans dad.
Also, do they even say that they're going to stop picking on him? It's just their dad, right? It's just the guy who was also like trying to be mayor, who's like, oh, your dad's a hero now.
I guess that's true. The kids don't ever say that.
Yeah. They might be out there beating his ass even harder. Be like, sissy dad turned into dead dad.
Dead sissy dad.
Dead sissy dad.
That's why he died at 49. I mean, just blunt force trauma throughout all those years.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
I mean, there's like a couple half-baked themes in this that conceptually I find interesting. In execution, maybe not so much because they don't really say anything. Creature design, pretty good. Practical effects, pretty good. CGI, not as terrible as it could be for 1994.
I recently watched the third Spider-Man movie to prepare for the new one.
To prepare for this because of all the parallels.
Exactly. And this CGI looked better than Willem Dafoe does in that movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'll say it again. So watch out.
I mean, I'm not mad that I watched this. I am mad that I watched it for 4 hours because I watched it twice.
Foolish.
Not even mad. It's just like, in the same way that this is like, a lot of it's portraying, like I said earlier, like a bucolic countryside childhood. That is also the sort of thing that makes you want to go to sleep.
Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. And also something to consider is that when you put this up against other things like the third Spider-Man, it's hard to forget, or easy to forget, that is 2.5 hours of interminable bullshit. So, you know, in this way, this actually is a very a quick and well-paced exercise.
Which third Spider-Man are we talking about?
No Way Home, I think it's called.
Talking about Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3.
Sorry, the newest one with all of them. Everybody who has ever been in a Spider-Man movie shows up.
Paul Giamatti?
He's there in spirit. They talk about the Rhino.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe I should check this out.
No, it's bad. It's really bad.
Fair enough. I won't check it out anyway.
Great.
More of a Supergirl head myself.
Yeah, I can tell.
But yeah, I mean, it's quite long. It certainly is not a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination, especially compared to some of the other things I've talked about on the show this season.
And Spider-Man 3.
And Spider-Man 3. But it's like, would I recommend this to anyone ever?
No.
Probably not. And again, not because it's bad. It's just like, nothing that it does is original, and it doesn't do any of those things particularly well.
There are so many movies out there that I cannot bring myself to be like, don't watch something else. Watch Kappa instead for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Although, actually, I will say, don't watch Mulholland Drive.
No.
Watch Kappa instead
Wrong.
for 2 hours.
Incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
Incorrect. Mulholland Drive is also longer than 2 hours, I think.
Mm,
That's 2 strikes against Mulholland Drive, then.
I don't like David Lynch, and even I can't get behind this one, Chris. I would probably recommend Mulholland Drive over Kappa.
I'll take that. I will take that.
They're like turtles, Coop.
Mm-hmm.
They have spirit balls in their anuses.
Oh, it was an Aurora. Aurora, Washington, that is.
What you didn't see off screen when the dad Kappa was playing the glass harmonica is that David Lynch was in the director's chair going, "Do your noise."
Can you do that? It would be so beautiful if you could roll on the floor and make your noise.
Yuta, it would be so beautiful if you could piss your pants.
And it was. And great job, David. I actually love this movie now.
Wow.
That's all it took. That's all it takes, folks.
All it takes is a dead David Lynch directing it.
That's right. I have no actual taste. I just know the name and I like the name.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree, but I mean, any final thoughts on Kappa?
No, I guess not. You could do worse, but like, I don't really have anything else to say. It just kind of is. It exists. I'm not furious I saw it or anything. It led to a fun conversation with two friends, but that feels like the best possible case scenario. Is that like the only time you should watch this is if you're going on a podcast to talk about it.
That's completely fair. Yeah, I mean, I would say it just suffers from like, it's neither really, really bad nor really, really good. It's just a mediocre kind of film. And oftentimes those are the most forgettable. But yeah, good time, recording this pod. It was, I'm glad I got to do this part of it, so yeah. Find me the hard R horror version of Kappa.
There is a
come back and do this
film
again.
about Kappa.
Wow.
And it's a musical, so maybe this is the perfect duo to have back on for that.
Whoa.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, I would say just final thoughts. This is the first time I've drank while recording a podcast in quite a while, and I'm glad I did. Because I don't think I could have mustered up the energy without it. So
That's right. And what is beer if not water that Kappas have been in plus grain, which Kappas have also been in?
Hate? I don't know.
Yeah. So that was Kappa from 1994. Thank you guys for coming on and breathing life into this dead format with me. Tell the fine folks out there where they can find you and anything you've got in the works.
Good luck finding me. I'm in Philadelphia.
Oh, wow. I'm Kron. I had a podcast called 5 Day Rentals. For 5 years, we flew too close to the sun on wings made of alcohol and stupidity. We talked about movies. You can still find the archive. Check it out.
Definitely recommend it. And it culminates beautifully. So you have to start at the beginning and you have to listen to the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
By this point, when this comes out, the 5 Day Rentals Discord will have been shut down. Lots of people have been giving very heartfelt farewells to the 5DR boys, but I don't really write anything down, so I'll keep it short and sweet. You're weak, you're out of control, and you've become an embarrassment to yourself and everyone else.
Agreed. Co-signed, I suppose. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 3 for 3.
Mm-hmm. So, on behalf of George and Kron, this has been another episode of Dead Formats. See you later.
Bye.